They're not looking bad, but anyways, I'm going to pot them. Since I'm here, I'm just gonna do it. Summer is boiling down. That means fall is right around the corner. Today, I'm going to be uppotting a few tomato plants and also a few of my pepper suckers. Come along with me while we uppot these plants and start preparing for our fall gardening season. Here on this table, we have a few bell pepper, some tomatoes, and a whole ton of brassicas. These are our classic fall and spring garden veggies. So first thing, we'll be getting some gardening soil to start our mix. We won't be mixing a lot because we have this soil here already, so it's not going anywhere. This soil that I have right here, I'm going to take you guys in a bit closer just to show you guys how I treat it right here. So with this soil, this is the regular garden soil that I got from my local landscaping company. I went ahead and I put coffee ground with it and just leave it here. So whilst the coffee ground is decomposing, we're getting organic matter breaking down into this soil also. So this is a good one to transplant or even start things in. This is our regular garden soil right here. I'm going to be putting some vermiculite in it and also a bit of peat moss. This is not a seed starting mix. It doesn't matter, or these barks won't really affect anything. I'm planting out some seedling now, so I'm just uppotting these tomato plants. I'm going in with half the amount of dirt that I have here, half of that with vermiculite. So that's about it. I'm going to just put one more, but that should do. The peat moss will also be half the amount of dirt that we have in there. So for the ratio, it's going to be 1 by half by half. Whatever measuring container you're going to be using, it's going to be one of that, half peat moss, half vermiculite. So I'm just going to mix this in right now. Work everything. Let me get something smaller to just work it around so we can get it as consistent as possible. I normally add a tip of salt to my mixes. However, we're coming down to the end of the pest season. The load isn't that great right now, so this time of the year you won't have a lot of pests. So I'm just going to be doing a mix like this and be uppotting in this simple mix right here. So whenever you guys doing any form of potting mix or even seed starting mix, always remember to dampen it, because once you have peat moss in it, it's going to cause dry pockets within your mix, and it's kind of hard to get rid of those dry pockets when you have them in the container. So if you can just mix it in right now and just get a sponge-like feel, that would be good. So that seems like a lot of water, but you guys will see what this mix look like when I'm done, because it's still gonna need more water. Still dry peat moss, it takes a lot of water. I think about that will do now. Let's see. And that's not bad. Could be a bit more damp, but this is not bad. Or you just want it to be fluffy, but you know, almost like a sponge when you squeeze that water out of it and it releases. That's what we're looking for. I think I'm gonna be uppotting them to these containers, and I have some bigger containers also. So let's just see. I'm just gonna work with what I have, but I just want to get them into bigger containers so that we can have stronger roots when it's time to plant. I'm going to start off with one of these and see how they look in it. Some can go into bigger containers, some can go into smaller. Doesn't really matter that much as long as we're really uppotting them. For this one, you guys can come in a bit, and none of these germinated. So in this single cell we have 3 tomato plants in it, hence I'll have to just separate them from now. So I'm just going to squeeze on the lower part and pull them up. So this is the cell and it has 3. So let's just separate them and get a single plant now to a container. So when it's time for us to transplant, it will be much easier. And this mix, this potting mix that I have with the coffee ground in it already, I want to see how well it works with these tomatoes. So I won't be putting any rabbit manure in these containers. I'll only be adding rabbit manure to the garden beds, which we already have rabbit manure in those beds. This is what we should be looking like for our tomato plants, so they can grow some very strong roots. I'm just going to rest them around here and we're going to continue. These are some smaller containers, but still large enough for the plants. We want these tomatoes to be deep, so we're going down. And we want that original mix that was with the seedling, if we can. We don't want to squeeze down on them too hard, but we just want to squeeze firm enough to have the plants upright like this. These are the Black Beauty tomato. These are the Black Beauty that we planted. I think I should set it this way for you guys to see it. So these are the Black Beauty. So what I'm going to be doing now, I have to go and label all of these plants individually when I'm done. So we'll just squeeze up on this one here. They're a bit tricky to pop out, but you just squeeze up on the base and send them all the way up. This one, we have everything with it, so I'm just going to dig a hole in the middle of the container and just send it right down. And I'm going to just pack some more soil around it. And within another 2 to 3 weeks, these will be some powerhouses. These are the Granny Cantarell. I'm going to just be setting them out. When you buy your seeds, you can use the amount that you want, and then for the following grow season, you still have more seeds which you can go back and re-sow or sow again. Look like we're going to have about 8 of these Granny Cantarell. I'm not familiar with these names, guys, so just bear with me. I'm used to my Kentucky beefsteak, and the regular tomatoes. And these tomatoes, we sowed them about what, 2-3 weeks now, and we're already up potting them, so it does make sense to sow your own tomato if you have the time. For those who don't have the time to be sowing their tomatoes, go ahead, buy your plant, continue gardening. It's not the end of the world, guys. We all have to start from different places, so not all of us can afford to sow our own seeds, and it doesn't make you guys any less of a gardener. These are the granny canterel. Can't wait to see what they look like. These variety, they are new to me. Alright, catch you guys again when I'm doing the next variety. These are the Phil's one. Guys, I have no idea about these variety, but what I know is I want to try them. This container is dry rot, so I'm just gonna pull them out. And we can see what we get from here. You have to get a bit dirty when you're in the garden, so that's a part of it. But these are very powerful. For the time, what, 3 weeks, these are looking good. The thing is, this is not like when I used to plant before and it didn't really matter. Now I'm doing content creation and I want to have the information available to you guys in the most simplest of form. Hence I have to keep track of all of these. Every time that I come under this greenhouse to do like whether it be a potting mix or up planting, the rain always comes. I'm feeling a few droplets right now, but I'm gonna keep chucking along. Here we have some peppers. These look like Scotch bonnet seedling. I'm just gonna leave this because I don't want to get rid of any of my peppers or seedling that's coming up right now. Alright, let's go for our next one. These are the Cherokee purple. We're going to be planting these now. So let's up our Cherokee purple and see what they're all about. Guys, these tomatoes should be beautiful in the fall. The thing is, if you're going to be starting your tomatoes in September from seed, you're going to be facing a struggle wherever you are. So if you're going to be starting your tomatoes from seed in September, you're going to be behind a bit. I'm not saying that you won't be getting tomatoes, but we're going to be entering short day come November. I think it's November the 5th, the 6th, thereabout, shorter days. And it will slow down these plants. Maybe not growth, but how they produce. You will still get tomatoes, but they won't be as vibrant or bear as much fruit as much as how you would get it in the spring, even though I continue to say Florida has 2 springs. Fall is like spring in Florida all over again. This is a very short one. I'm going for these purple calabash. I'm using up my seat area over there, so I have to move the cushion, guys. I have to be making space this year for more tomato. These were struggling a bit. I'm not sure if it's because of the rain every day, but these definitely are struggling. So I hope they will bounce back in this mix that we have here, which they should. They are not too bad, not too bad at all. And this is the beauty of gardening. Some of the time it's like, what's that? That's an ant? Or that's an ant? Is that an ant? One of the beauty of gardening is to just take time out and, you know, spend some time doing what you like. Just relaxing with nature or in nature. So the Alice's Dream, I only got 1 out of the entire thing. However, I went ahead and re-sow a few, so I have some more coming up but I only got 1. So I only got 1 out of the 6 Alice's Dream that I planted or that I sowed. It must be a special one. Let's see how well this one comes. These are called the green zebra. They don't get red. There are some green tomatoes with some stripes on them. First time again, so I'm going to be looking out for these ones. I don't think I even need to label these, but they are quite unique. But I'll go ahead and label them to know what I plant where. The seeds that I started in these biodegradable containers, they are way much stronger than the ones that I put in the plastic containers. So I think going forward, I'll be starting my seeds, all seeds that I'm going to be starting from in pots, I'll be starting them in these biodegradable containers because it just works out way better to me. These are way ahead of the rest. My favorite Kentucky beef steak. So we'll be just uppotting them into these small containers. I'm going to try one of them into a bit larger container and see. We want as much soil on the root, but because they're joined together also, it's a bit difficult. So the rains came yesterday and knocked me out of business, but now I'm up and I'm back in business. So these are the tomatoes in the degradable containers, and these are the medium containers that I have some in. and I'm going for a few in the large containers, which is an overkill, but I'm just gonna be running a few of them in these containers also. So now I'm just gonna take you guys across and show you all the tomatoes that I have for this fall, guys. So these are all the tomatoes. I have a few bell peppers in it also, but not a lot. I think it's only 12 bell peppers that we have here, but most of these are tomatoes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with tomatoes, but I'm just going to continue to uppot the remainder. If I can get to sell some, I'll sell it. If I can give away some, I'll give away some. But whatever comes next, I'll just do it with these tomatoes. So this is a whole lot of tomatoes. I think I counted 40. And we have over here also. So we're still going with a lot. In this container right here, I went ahead and I sowed some onions, but I don't remember the name of those onions. For a greenhouse like this is a 60% shade cloth. So if you're going to be doing any form of greenhouse and if you're in a tropical climate and you want to start a greenhouse with a shade cloth like this, or even just a shaded area, you're looking for something like, whether it be a 50 or a 60% shade cloth. Don't go to the 40 or 30%. 50 or 60, that's where you're going to play and get your best results. So we're just keeping these hydrated or fully hydrated for the first 3 or 4 days, just for them not to get too sad. After that, I'll be backing off with the watering a bit, but for now you just want to keep them wet, just so them to hold on to the soil and start absorbing nutrients. So that's it for this video. See you all in the next one. Be safe. Cheers.